We've got, this is going to be really, really a powerful Mbawula chat, which is going to be facilitated by Mr. Bulelani Balabala. Is Mr. Bulelani Balabala. Please can we put our hands together for Bulelani as he comes on stage. As he's getting ready to come on stage, I will just read the bio of who will be part of this Mbawula chat. Mr. David Thidiela, a legend. And I'm a big football fan, so I know this gentleman, big legend. Born and bred in the village right here, Vufuli, here in Venda. A former policeman and seasoned businessman with over 30 years experience in the fuel industry, having opened his first service station in Deep Kloof, Soweto. Evan, from Soweto to Venda. In an effort to boost the Venda Township economy, Mr. Thidiela commenced his business relationship with Sasol, where he opened his first Sasol garage. Guess where he opened it? Right here in Thohoyando. That was in 2010. Outside of the fuel service industry, Mr. Thidiela owns football club, Black Leopards Football Club, and serves as the executive committee member of the PSL. Powerful gentleman. Please, ladies and gentlemen, can you put our hands together for Mr. David Thidiela? Please come onto the stage, sir. Come on, let's put our hands together. Yeah, he's in the hot seat today. Looking forward to learning from you. Next up, the other gentleman who will be forming part of this Mbawula chat, Mr. Matodzi, Joseph Mukwevho, founder of Mukwevho Group of Companies. He started off his career as a teacher and as a lecturer. He left education to start his own business and successfully developed 2 stationary retail outlets. So it's from teacher to retail outlets, and now in fuel. Talk about a journey of entrepreneurship. He's got a transport business. The transport business is currently trading under BSB Logistics. He has later diversified and ventured into construction. This one I found very powerful. Bought his first Sasol franchise in the year 2004, Sasol Madiba Park. And he's been recognized by Sasol as one of Sasol's top 20 performing sites in South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, he's in the building. Please can we put our hands together for Mr. Matodzi, Joseph Mukwevho. Come on, Township entrepreneurs. Come on, Thohoyando. These are our legends. These are top-tier businessmen. Gentlemen, you can have a seat right there.
Sure. Never been done before. No, man, but you know what? I'm very excited to be hosting this part of today's segment. This segment is called Mbawula Chat. And Mbawula Chat, you know, fireside chat. This is our fireside chat. And I don't know what upbringing you grew up in, but with mine, I used to sit around the fire with my grandfather. And he'd either discipline me, which is still learnings, or just teach me and show me the way that I need to go and align me. And those are those principles. And I think, you know, oftentimes I always say, we read amazing books by authors we've never met, will never meet, but most importantly, whose journeys we might not totally resonate with. Overlooking these amazing business doyens and giants that have done extremely well, whose story you won't just understand, but whose journey you might even just simply copy and paste from their methodologies of how they built systems, how they were able to grow and even scale their business. So whenever we search for models on how to grow and scale, we should not search outwardly, but we should search inwardly, and inwardly is with these amazing heroes. And then starting on the left, it's 1,000 rands, it's 1,000 rands, 1,000 rand. I'm kidding. Because when I was giving them the mic, they were saying, I'm going to sell them, so I won't sell these amazing legends. So, as if we don't know you, and the people in the room don't know you, with the humility that I have on this platform, could you please introduce yourself to the people that are here, and how did you get into business? I'll start with you, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah, hey, you're putting me in the tight corner. All right. My name is Matodzi. In Venda, they always call me Matodzi. When I'm in Polokwane, they say Joe. And I know if you call me Joe, you do not know me. and someone who calls me Matodzi knows me very well. Yeah, the last time I went past here, like the previous speaker, I was graduating in 1990. That was the last time I passed here. And then, yes, graduated as a teacher. Started working as a teacher somewhere in Sibasa. I'm from deep rural area in Chiombo. I'm very deep rural area. In fact, to come to Sibasa was a luxury. Yeah, to come to Thohoyando in Sibasa. I think for the first time I was in Thohoyando was when I was coming to the university. That was the first time. Then did my honors, come back here, taught for 2 years as a lecturer, left, went to Sekhukhune College, taught for 2 years, and unfortunately the colleges were being closed, and I had to think out of the box. But I always had this in mind. When I was graduating here, something happened which made me to think that one day I'll make a lot of money. When I graduated here, I was the best achiever in that graduation ceremony. I even got a silver medal as the best. But when I went to teach, I realized that you might be the best, but you won't make the best money. And from that day, I told myself I have to go into business. And when I went to the college was being closed. And for me, I'll always say it was fate, because how I started a business, it's somehow, when the college were closed, we were not doing anything. Every day you wake up, you go to the college, there was nothing to do. You will drive the college in Sekhukhune, you're staying in Polokwane, you drive from Polokwane to Sekhukhune, 100 kilos, you go sit and go back waiting for department to tell you what is happening. That's when I developed another business. And I bought a video projector, and I started showing in township language, Baskop, in schools. That's how my business started. And later, in 2000, I resigned. I started a micro-lending business. I was borrowing money. It was the easiest business to do, to borrow money. And later, when there was tight control with NCR coming, my dream was to go into a filling station business. And I was fortunate when Sasol was franchising, moving from Excel to Sasol. I was the first person to get it in Limpopo. That was Sasol Madiba Park. And I've opened that one in 2003. And someone taught me something. Someone said to me, when you are in a filling station, make sure you don't only run as a dealer, you also own the property. We sacrificed and bought the property from day one, moved from there, opened Sasol Gateway. As you enter Polokwane, the Sasol with Galitos there. I've opened it 2009. Then moved, went to Middleburg. Middleburg, in the township, there's 2 Sasol filling stations. One I opened, the other one I bought it over. And as you're coming back from Middleburg, there's another one, Sasol Dorenkop, opened that one. But in the process, I started to learn. The first one was the school fees. I'm happy because there's no white person here. The first one, I said, but why do Sasol bring white people to build for me? Why can't I build myself? Then the second one, I built it myself. Then that's how I went into construction. And it was a good opportunity for Sasol to allow me to go into construction. Then I started building. And from there, I think I built a lot of sites, quite a lot, even for a lot of other people. Then during COVID, I also opened Sasol Marshall in Polokwane, next to the stadium. And I opened it in the height of COVID. And I've got, 6 filling stations which are running, and I've built a lot. I've built Sasol Silomu here, I've built Sasol Tabani Mall. The one which opened now, Sasol Nkuna Kroll, I built it for Dr. Masingit, Dr. Nkuna. I've built Sasol Matodzi. I'm just building. I build in nail spray for other people. Then it opened me into construction. In construction, we've done a lot of work, but gradually we have grown so big. That's why we're a group of companies. And one of our dreams was, apart from the fuel retail, which everyone knows me about it, we must also extend in the construction and so also own the value chain. And in Polokwane, we also own Gateway Ready Mix, which is the biggest ready mix in Polokwane. We've got Gateway Bricks, we've got Gateway Aluminium. We've got a host of companies. Currently, I think we've got in excess of 500 employees. That's what we do. And we're also strong in property. Of late, I'm into property development. If you know Polokwane, there's now new Greenery Shopping Center. I'm a shareholder at the Greenery Shopping Center. There's a lot of things which we are doing. But I think the long and short of it is that it's possible. You don't need to come from a very complicated family to achieve it. You have to believe in your dreams and you can achieve it. That is the long and short about me. Thank you.
And you know, the one thing that stood out for me and will consistently stand out is the humility of these two amazing gentlemen, right? From the greeting to engagement. Because you give a young guy like me 500,000, you know, I will have bodyguards and I'll make sure that everyone in the room feels that I'm in charge. And I think that's a misnomer, because then what we are then doing is that we are succeeding ahead of the success instead of learning. So I think, you know, listen, but also take notes with the character, with the character, the charisma, how it's spoken, because we are here to copy and to paste. Mr. Thidiela, you know, similar question. As if I don't know you, I've never read up about you, and I have. And, you know, please just introduce yourself to us in as humble manner as possible, and just share your story.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Azudali Ntakuseni Dafita Thidiela. I won't say much, you know, because of my age. It will be difficult to say I did this and that and that and that. I was born and bred at Bufuli. I left here in 1970 to Johannesburg. I joined the police force here in Sibasa. After 3 weeks, I was sent to Polokwane. Polokwane 2 months there. After that, that was 1970. After that, I was transferred to Kliptown Police Station, where the people speak Afrikaans and, you know, more excellent, donor and all these things. And I couldn't say a word in Afrikaans. After 4 months there, we were sent to the college. That time it was not called college. They said depot. There we were treated, where by the police there, you know, you can think of resigning and go home. And I asked myself, if I go home, what am I going to do at home? And I stayed there. While I was there, we stayed there for 6 months. When there were 5 months, 2 months to go to pass out, we call it pass out when you celebrate now and go back to your stations. They said, no, there are guys from Pretoria, the white guys, big guys. They are from murder and robbery, and they need people, you know. And you are going to write a test, and those who get high marks and all that, they need 10, they will go. And I was number 11. And I was so angry. That time I forgot that, you know, at home my father is praying for me, and I'm a Christian, but in Joburg you don't go to church anymore. It's nice there, we go to football and all this. Then I was so angry I even cried each night. I didn't know what God had in store for me. We passed out, we went back to Kliptown. It was nice. 1974, I wrote examination. And 1976, I have to say, while they were fighting with T.H. Matsinini, who were behind the desk writing exam, God being God, I made it. I became a surgeon. And at that time, when you are promoted, when you pass, they send you where they want to send you. You don't ask. Pretoria will just send David Thidiela, murder and robbery, Soweto. Remember, I failed.
Yes.
1970. Yes. No, it was 71 when we wrote the depot. God being God, then I went there, become a Smolanyana boss. I was in charge. Yeah, I was in charge of a football team of the police in Soweto. How? I don't know, because I was the worst player in the football squad. But God being God, I was a manager, a captain in the team, and they can't substitute me. Maybe because murder and robbery was the best, what call, you know. Yes, and you know, that was that. It was nice. While I was there, the people of football were killing one another, shooting another, fighting for, and we were investigating those cases. That's where I was involved in football. Then, you know, it's not like today where policemen is nothing. When they see you, they respect you day and night. They say, my name was changed. I was called Brade. Bra is my first name. Day was now my surname. It went on and on and on. 1988, because football was in me, and it was difficult for me to resign from the police. I can't say everything. It was, you know, it was difficult for me to resign. I took 6 months leave. I had a leave, 6 months leave, because the football wanted me. You know, I was helping them all now and then, because, you know, we managed through the God's intervention to stop the killings. All right? And that's how football people stole me. Then I went to football. BP were one of the clients, people who were sponsoring football. Then I fell in love with selling petrol. I need some money in it too. I need to be called a business person, you know. And God being God, I got the garage in Deep Kloof, 1992. while I'm in charge of the security throughout the country. And after football, when I knock off from football, I've resigned from the police now. When I knock off from football, I go to the garage. Self, and I was so interested. You know, I was pouring self-petrol, you know. Yeah. And people knows me. They know me from football, and they support me. I had too much support. Too much support. And then, 1993, BP came to me and said, please, we want you at Protegla. Then they banned that. I talked to my 6 children, we agreed, we took it. I had the second one. Somebody came to me, I won't mention the names. He needed money. The people who own black leopards here, they needed money. I got the other people, business people, to say, man, can you help my people at home? They need this, they have money, what God said, it didn't work out. I ended up taking over the team, helping the people where I can help. And we promoted the club, and it went to Premier League, and that was that. Then I resigned also then I ran my business. Then I said to myself, I'm from Venda. The convenience stores in Soweto started with me. We had a meeting. I was also a chairperson of Transvaal. That was Transvaal at the time, Dealer Council. I was a chairperson there for some time. So BP brought people from UK to introduce the convenience shops. They had one, that time they had one in Cape Town. And when we had the meeting, they said they need volunteers, the people who want convenience shop. And nobody raised, I raised my hand. Said, no, you can start with me. Then they came and built. People were scared because Soweto, you know, it was rough. And you can't just say, yes, you need butterproof and all this. And black people always, they like to pick and go. They don't pick and pay. So that's why people didn't want it. But after that, sometimes they say, hey, this man now, the forecourt is full, people are buying what, everybody raises his hand and say, no, we want it. So I like always to be the first. I said, yeah, look, I've got a very beautiful shop here. But vendor people there at home, we don't have such beautiful things. I said, you know, I must go and get a land and build a garage at home. There's no use of having things in deep kloof and protect land, while my people are still buying through the window. Let me be the first. I was supposed to have built the garage at the Caltex. So the Caltex, the people started fighting and all these things. The mayor, the late, may his soul rest in peace, we went down there and gave me that area here. And that's where BP couldn't come here because they were not building outside what I say. The next beautiful, colors are Sasol. Then I went to Sasol. And my God was on my side. I went to Sasol. That's why I built the garage here. I always wanted to be first, to say, I will be the first one. So I thank God for all this. I'm not well learned. My matric, you know, as a policeman, they say, you can't go to the next rank of warrant officer if you don't have a matric. So as a group of young boys staying at the barracks, we said, let's do it. We went nice school and we got our certificate, and we ran the examination. The other guys, they ended up bragadier while I'm doing football. You know, they were big guys and all these things. And that's the short of it.
Sure. What a story, yeah? We could literally just close the Mbawula chat right here. But we won't, because we still have a little bit more to search, and I think we won't even finish it, but there's so much more that we want to search. Mr. Mukwevho, you know, we know that entrepreneurship, actually we don't know that entrepreneurship is as difficult as it's portrayed. Because majority of us as young people, whenever we look at seasoned entrepreneurs like yourself and Mr. Thidiela, you know, you don't look like failure. You know, you look like you went through it like a hot knife through butter. Has that been the case? And how have you been able to deal with the constant rejections and the no's when you knock on various doors?
Yeah, you know, it's not an easy journey, but it's a mindset. You win it here and you lose it here. If in your mind you are geared to say, or you choose to see the negative part, I mean, you'll get disappointed. There are a lot of disappointment in business. Remember, as we do, it's the real business, the everyday business. Sometimes, when I joke with my accountant, I normally tell him, you do the theoretical part, we do the real thing. And the real thing, when you write cash flow, you write it, but as we live it, and it's not very easy. But you have to choose to see the positive part. We have stumbling block, but we always choose to say, whatever is coming, like what Thidiela used to say, God on our side. I'm a very spiritual person. I believe that whatever God gives you, He gives you also the ability to go through the fire. And that's you must have that belief that it will go well. And also, when you start something, you must start to finish to the end. And also these days, I mean, for young people, it's easier than ourselves. Ourselves, we went to school in those old days when I was telling my son, because I came with my son, there are people who were denied matric because they couldn't draw a locust. In matric, biology, draw a locust. And how does that really add value to your day-to-day life? But nowadays, kids, they've got opportunity, they learn more, their education is better than ours. And if we have survived through that, it means for people these days, I mean, it's possible. The only issue is that one must be determined. And also not show off, because most of the young people, they want popcorns. You pop it today, tomorrow you can eat it. And you go through a lot of stress in business. It is possible, particularly in the kind of businesses we do, I mean, with filling station. If I was someone who don't see the positive side, I would have left a long time ago. And I mean, I had numerous bombings in the filling station. When you go, they call you early hours of the morning, 4 o'clock, the filling station is bombed beyond recognition. But it does not mean the end of life. You take your pieces, then you fix it, you go ahead with life. That's how life is. We choose to see the positive part. That life is a choice.
And I mean, yeah, big round of applause. I mean, I love what you said, that the win and the failure starts here. You know, much to what you had mentioned earlier on, Mr. Thidiela, about, you know, coming out number 11 and not liking that, but also saying that I want to be the first in everything. You know, most of us, we fail once, we leave. You know, and also in failing once, there's a mindset where we don't want to be excellent. So how have you navigated the challenges, you know, and where did that desire to say, I'm going to be the first, whether it's tested or not, I'm going to test it, come from? Because it's an unusual personality or persona to have.
You say, like Mr. Mukwevho says, if you give in before you start, you will never win. You must just be positive that I'm going to do it, and I want to be like Joe. You must have a role models and say, this is what I want to be. This is where I want to be. Not necessarily beating him. I want to be like him. Because if you say you want to beat him, you'll become jealous. And God doesn't bless people who are jealous. You say, I want to be like him. And go to him and ask him, how did you manage to do this? Before I built this garage, I went to him. I said, Joe, you are a young man. You find me in this industry. But here, I'm going to build one garage like yours in Sasol. He encouraged me to go to Sasol. I was with the other brand. And he said, no, let's go to Sasol. Sasol, I knew they will give you more this and all this. and the colors also, you know. I said, we'll make Venda blue. Yeah. And he's in Puluka, how to make Venda blue. And I said, I don't have that much energy. Let's go, let's push. So once you say you are positive that I'm going to do this and I will do it, nothing will stop you from doing that. To the youngsters, what I would like you to say to you is that before you start just thinking about doing a business and all this, respect your parents. Worship your parents. There's no God bigger than your parents. But God plays a second role to your parents. You respect them, God will open ways for you. Are we together? Am I talking alone? Yeah, I'm talking to the youngsters. Don't believe to unbelievables. People will tell you, hey, you got this, you go to what, the people will do this, you'll get business, you'll be rich. There's no such things. If you get money and you don't know what you're doing with money, you play with money, you give this and this, and you think you'll be rich. No. But the first thing, look after your parents. Respect your parents. Everything you do, God will open ways for you. And nothing is impossible in life. You tell yourself that I'm going to be a millionaire. You tell yourself, have a goal, have an objective, say, I will be a millionaire. I will drive a better car than Thidiela's car. I will build a better house than Thidiela's one. That's where you go. Once you do that, you're gone in life. There's nobody who's better than you, and you are better than nobody. So everything is possible. Everything is possible. There are people here during apartheid who said, I couldn't go to school because of apartheid. I couldn't do this and this. Because today there's no apartheid. Why are you not going to school? Why are you not getting what you get? Everything you want to do, it will happen. I want to build one second garage now at Matodzi. Football, I give it to my son to run. Tshifhiwa is trying. I'm trying to help him. Once he go back to Premier League, I'm leaving him there. He must swim. So guys, go to school, get those degrees. Don't go standard 10. There's no longer standard 8 like us, JC and what. You go there, study, tell your parents, I want to be, this is what I want to be.
Let's give a big round of applause. Yeah? So the big takeaway for me there is, as young people, let's stop making excuses. Because if funding is a problem, it will never be enough. If it's raining and you cancel, it will always be raining on different days. Let's stop making excuses, because excuses form barriers for us and keeping us away from what we truly want to achieve. But But now here are these amazing entrepreneurs, they're budding, you know, you are now borrowed in the soccer, now you are in the soccer fraternity, now you're growing your business from one phase to the other, now you're introduced to money, you know. Now money coming in. Have you made some of the mistakes that some of us make when you receive a certain amount of money and then you oversplurge? And how important is financial literacy in making sure that you keep your money? Because I think it was touched on a bit earlier on that don't show off. And I mean, I could assimilate that in my own assumption to saying, be frugal with your money so that it goes a long way. But some of us, you know, we are the business, so the business's money is my money because it's my business. Maybe Mr. Mukwevho, you can, and you can share a story.
No, in life we do make mistakes in life. And, particularly with us black people, when we started going to business, we were never exposed to money the way we have money now. I mean, when some of us, when we were still young, we used to drive very expensive cars, focusing on cars, and forgetting that as you grow older, you start realizing that when you do whatever you are doing, you don't forget to invest in property, because property appreciates in value. Other than, I mean, the cars. The cars, yes, you can have one nice car, which is a bit expensive if you want to have, but what I've learned throughout the process is you must not forget to invest in things which appreciates in value. It's always important. And also, financial literacy is important. Some of the things, yes, during the course of starting, we make a lot of mistakes. You end up buying a lot of properties in your personal name, which you are not supposed to because you don't have proper advice. But with young kids now who are coming up now, the knowledge is available, and they can do better than ourselves. They can have proper financial planning. And also, for those who want to start business, I can tell you, funding, sometimes I beg to differ. There is a lot of money in South Africa. There is a lot of money in South Africa, which is available. It's only that many starters, even startup, you don't actually need money. If you believe in your dream and you have got a good business plan, and which there are a lot of people who can do business plan on risk. And what I've learned also by also having other business partners in other areas, most of us black people who don't network and have some work done on risk. If, for example, I can go to a black accountant, I said, I've got this dream. I want 1, 2, 3, and this thing will need 2 million. Sometimes I'll struggle to get my black brother to say, I believe in you, let me structure a business plan on risk. Once they pay, then you'll get your money. That's where the stumbling block is. When sometimes people end up tying themselves into some agreements with other big companies to get something on risk. But if we can have a good network, I always say your network, it's equals to your net worth. If around you can have a proper people, like for example, if I want something, even what Thidiela will call me, hey Joe, I want to open in Matache. I've done 1, 2, 3. He's already in our field. I'm already networking with him. Then if we can have a proper network around ourselves, the sky is the limit. Yes, you ask about mistake, we do make mistakes, but in life, don't dwell on the mistake you have made. Dwell on how going forward. You mustn't be a serial mistake. You doing mistakes, same mistakes every time. If you make mistakes on money going forward, see how you fix it. And obviously, running a business in South Africa is not easy. I had the previous speakers were talking about compliance and all those things. They are nice. But the reality is that there's too much compliance in South Africa. Some of the things are too many. You must do UIF, you must do COIDA, you must do this, you must do... Sometimes you sit and you realize that there is no time to focus on those things, and if you don't focus on them, you don't get money. And you sometimes see people who are working informally making a lot of money than yourself. Maybe the edge, because I can see you guys are now powerful, and I see the president is talking about the township, developing township. Maybe some voices will go down to government to say, let's reduce this lot of complaints and try and join some and have one. Because, for example, you'll get us who are in filling station. They want us to have a BE certificate. And the people who do BE certificate, they check on the turnover. And once a filling station, which does 500,000 liters, does 19 million a month. When it does 19 million because of the price, now the person who's doing a BE certificate will say, because of a turnover, you do 200 million a year, I need 70,000 to prove that you are black. Then some of these things there, I understand the intended purpose was to avoid even fronting people, but I mean, how do I go and spend 50,000 to affirm that I'm BEE, whereas there are people who are just coming and say, I want to fill up, I don't need a certificate. Some of the things, people in government, they've got a good idea, but they must also understand what is happening on the ground. So that some of the things must be simplified. That's my take.
Big round of applause. And I mean, I think, Mr. Thidiela, you'll answer me on, financial mistakes and how important is it to manage your money well. But also just on the back of that, you sort of opened up the conversation earlier on around collaboration, around not seeing someone as a competitor, but saying, if I see Mr. Mukwevho and he's doing extremely well in whatever he's doing, I'm not going to say I want to be him. I won't say that, I want to be better than him. But I want to copy whatever he's doing and collaborate with him. Maybe just on the back of everything I've asked, maybe you can just add that spice on how important is it to, to collaborate and work with each other instead of you see someone doing something like yours and then you start to think competition, competition, competition.
You see, mistake will be there every time. You can't avoid mistakes. We learn by mistakes. What is important is that when you made a mistake yesterday, rectify that mistakes and move on. Because if you dwell on that mistake, the time is going and you will lose money. So when I say I'm not better than you and you're not better than me, I'm saying don't compete when you're in business, don't compete with somebody. I want to be better than Joe. You look after your money and you say, Joe, here and there, I'm not doing well. What could be the problem? Then we sit down and share, and in the evening, I will use my imagination on what he was saying, and take what helps, what works for me. Because sometimes what works for me cannot work for him. It's vice versa. You understand? So he will tell me what he tells. Like in this industry, we've got people from Sasol in all departments. In Sasol, we've got people there. Those are the people we also rely on. We work with. We work together. So when you are alone, you will always make mistakes, even when you are with people, but rectify your mistake and move on. Don't compete and say, I want to be better than Joe. That's a great mistake which we must never do. Instead, get what he has, what makes him successful, and attach with your thinking and go up, move ahead. That's what business is all about.
What is that, whether it was a book you read or a newspaper or I won't even say social media or whatever, someone you spoke to, advice you got, but what is that one or two pieces of advice, not in any level of importance, that you got that just changed the way that you did business or you did something in your business that has always stuck with you? Doesn't matter where it came from.
Yeah, you know what? Of late, I've not been reading books a lot, But one thing which one guy advised me, whom I worked with when we were still marketing loans, and his name is John Ward, he's an accountant. He says to me, Joe, when I look at you, when I look at the zeal you have to succeed, one day you'll go places. And by then, I was still, I didn't even have a big business by then. It was just running around marketing. But then it made sense to me to say, there are other people who believe in you. Then the smallest contribution I can do is to believe in myself. And also the other one is more spiritual, to say that I believe that if we go and borrow from the Bible, because me, like Mr. Thidiela, we strongly believe in God, believe that God created me for a specific purpose, and that I cannot just come here and be counted as I was born in Venda, I lived and I died. And my take was I want to leave a legacy. I want people to remember me for having done a big contribution in South Africa. And we know the only way to win the fight against unemployment in South Africa is not with government. It's township economy to be revived. That's the only way. I mean, we opening another filling station now, you know, Zanele, Sasol Bobop. We put him up with McDonald's. We put up the adverts now for petrol attendants. Will be opening in a month or so time. We got 2,000 applications. That tells you that there is a problem. And I want to be remembered as someone who has played my part during my time. And I always pass it through to my kids. That's why even when I came here, I came with my son. I always pass it to my kids and say, hey, let's go and play our part. If you play a part of solving a problem by taking care of God's people, God will take care of you.
Then I'm going to ask, just after this, just please bookmark this in your head. Piece of advice that you have, it's my last question. Piece of advice that you have for these young people. But just bookmark that because I'm going to jump over to Mr. Thidiela. What is that one piece of advice or a motto that you even live by that has either changed the way that you live, but this is a staunch belief that you have that drives you in doing the things that you do? No, this is for you, Mr. Thidiela. Sorry. No, that's so what is that one motto? Because I also know that he's pressed for time. So if we can give me this last piece of advice. Actually, let's change it. What's your last piece of advice to these young individuals that are here so that I can also release you?
Oh, okay, thank you. Don't forget that you hijacked me.
I'll never forget.
Yo.
Anything that comes to mind.
Especially to, I'm madly in love with the youngsters. Like I've said, that nothing is impossible. Have a dream. You will achieve what you want to achieve. Education today is free. I think our government, I'm not a politician, but our government are doing their best to get you educated. So it's not like before where blacks were not getting money to go to school and all these things. And today, people are being funded to go to school by business people, black business, white people, they're sending people to, people there. That's why today there's GNU, which will come with so many things. So if you don't do it, you have to prepare your future now and tell yourself what you want to be and where do you want to go. Nice time, guys. We still like nice time as old as we are. If you forget about nice time now and consider focus on why do you want to be when. If you don't do that, your future is doomed. You won't be anywhere. Have role models, the people you emulate, and say, hey, I want to be better than so-and-so. I want to be like so-and-so. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be, have a dream. Where do you want to be? Than going to parties and go do this and this, which will never help you. Your future, you have to do it now, while there's still time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, what I'm going to ask that we do is that, because we're going to release Mr. Thidiela, I'm going to continue with Mr. Mukwevho. I just need 10 more minutes with you to answer questions, but we're then going to ask the two gentlemen to just stand up, we take a picture with the photographer, and then we'll release. But did you guys learn? And we're going to record the videos. They'll share what they learned, and we'll share them with you. Let's just kindly ask these two amazing gentlemen to just please stand. You'll stare at that camera over there. Give me your best smile. Your most handsome smile to that gentleman over there with the camera. Okay, maybe I'll join for this one. And then one with just the two gentlemen. And then just prep your questions as well. That will then just flag to Mr. Mukwevho, have him for 10 minutes, and then we'll then just move to the pitch announcements, and then close our program. We've got food prepared, we'll network and chat. And thank you so much to all the facilitators earlier on. You guys did an excellent job. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Let's give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So I want us to reshape that part, Mr. Mukwevho, and say, maybe please don't give us your advice now. I want us to close with your advice. I'd like to maybe just open up to, the gift. My goodness. I was so blown away by the nuggets. Man, did you guys not think that time was so short? No, he needs to come back. And Mr. Mukwevho also needs to come back. This needs to be 3 hours or something. But what I'd love to do is also give the young entrepreneurs or the young individuals who are in the room a chance to just ask their questions. And then once they've asked questions, then we'll close with your words of advice to these young individuals who are in the room today. And, just greatly appreciating you allowing us to drink from your well of wisdom, So just maybe 3 individuals that have got questions. Guys, be ready with the mics wherever you are. So we've got a gentleman there, be close to him. The next person with the mic, there's a gentleman at the back. My lady, so you must keep your eyes on me so I show you. The first gentleman is the one at the back there. And then the second one is going to be here with the glasses. And the third one here. So what I'm going to ask is, let's start with these 3 first, and I'll come back to you. Let's start with these 3. And then, guys, what I'll ask, because we're already pressed on time, and I apologize, but also grateful that you are allowing us to go a little bit over our time, is please, when you ask the question, be succinct, straight to the point, but please can you limit it to 1 question kindly so that we can try and give other people a chance. Sir, at the back, please feel free to ask your question. Thank you so much, my brother.
Was seeing Mr. Bulelani, and then the reason I came back home was the belief that Senten can be brought here. So it was an inspiration when you were talking, sir, and then I just said, I'm not lost. So it's actually an inspiration, not more of a question. It's a thank you to you, sir.
And I also have one more question, but I want to ask it now. Okay, the gentleman over there, please, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mukwevho. My name is Promise Nyalungu. I come from a company called Stewards Entertainment. And what we are trying to do at Stewards Entertainment is to make sure that we offer creative opportunities to creatives that are based in rural and township areas. And as you started your talk, Mr. Mukwevho, you mentioned how you started your business by showcasing bioscopes in the townships. And most of this, I believe you were doing it in schools. And we don't see such services happening anymore. We don't see those type of initiatives anymore. Like in the space where I'm working, I work mostly with theater, and we mostly do theater for development, where we need access to the schools so that we can showcase to them some of the lessons on life. And like you said, there's a lot of regulations, even in terms of accessing the schools to just do those initiatives. So I want to find out from you, Mr. Mukwevho, as to how were the regulations back then when you were screening movies? Was it the easy entry? And how did you then move from the movies, from showcasing movies to now owning a petroleum station?
Thank you so much, sir. And then, my lady, I'll just ask you, please just prep and give this gentleman in the black jacket in front the mic. So also, okay, perfect, I'm happy. No, just hold on to the mic. I'll give Mr. Mukwevho an opportunity to answer him, and then we'll then take yours. Sir.
Yeah, maybe if I can answer you, then, you know, it was not like today where there is a lot of, our society now is more advanced. In those days, when you were showing those bus cops, it was the only form of entertainment. And maybe today, if you want to do it, maybe it won't be the right way because everyone will have access to it. There's Netflix, there's this, but it does not stop you from being creative and say, what can you do now? It only wants you to think out of the box and be part of. I remember as I entered here, there was a presenter talking about being part of the solution. I'm just thinking now aloud quickly to say, if I'm in the township now, deep rural Masisi, I'm giving a worst case scenario. What can I do now to add value and make money? Because for you to make money, you have to add value first. I'm giving an example. I understand load shedding is no longer there now like before, but you can go and buy the globes now, which is energy saver, which even when there's load shedding, it can last for 6 hours. Those are simple things. Those globes, people buy them at 10, 20 rand from the Chinese place. Here they sell them 100 rand. That markup is huge markup. There's always something. When the society evolves, there is always something which can offer.
Please, you can feel free to ask your question, sir.
Oh, thank you so much. Mr. Mukwevho, I just have a few questions that I'll make them one. My first question is that what's the main aim and the focus when you're doing a different business from everyone? Because what I do, it surprises everyone. I travel many places because I'm in mining. I was fighting against Amazon and I protected the mine at home. So the last one is, how do you keep focus when achieving? Because I've been traveling using a plane, but I was confused to make money through those things. So I wanted to know how to develop that skill that I protected. Everything that is happening to me, it came as a surprise when I was invited to come to Cape Town. Next month I'm going to Tanzania for training. I'm good in breeding some other plants. How do I make money through that? And I have an app online. How do I make that and focus there? Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. You comfortable with the question?
No, I didn't get the question right.
So please, Josh, because I also wanted to get clarity on that.
Thank you. I was making it one short question. I run different projects. It's called Youth Mining and Agriculture and Technologies. Okay. So I was asking it in terms of when things are happening, it happens so fast, but you find that there's no man in it.
What type of things? Opportunities?
Yeah,
opportunities come.
Yeah, opportunities come. You find that there's no money in those opportunities. I was running election. I was selected as a provisional observer for Limpopo in the elections. But when I checked my pocket, I was working with almost 8,000 people observing around the province. But I don't have money. How do I make money through those things? Okay, and I have a farming company. But money do counts, but I don't maintain it. That's my problem.
No, I understand you. Maybe So this is what I asked. Please give this gentleman in the stone. Please hold on to the mic. So I think maybe, and you'll nod and tell me if I'm correct. So you run multiple businesses. As part of running those businesses, whenever opportunities are, you don't have the resources to participate in those opportunities. And then you also acted as an observer for the IEC, dealing with 8,000 people. But at the end of that, you still didn't have money. So how do you get money?
No. It's a difficult one because running election is a national service. You can't expect to make money out of running election. That's a service to the nation. In fact, I don't think it's even a salary. It's a contribution they give you. But as for running around, most of the young people tend to make mistake of running around and not protect their ideas. Because sometimes there is a right time to talk about what you are doing. You can't just talk before you know what you are going to do. First, let me give an example. Us in our space of a filling station, first you have to advertise. I can't just tell everyone I'm going to start a filling station there, because when I advertise, they're going to object. I keep it to myself. There's a right time to talk about it. When I'm doing zoning, I don't talk to a lot of people. When I do EIA, I don't talk to a lot of people. When I do license, I don't talk to. When the license is there, I say, oh, now I'm going to start a filling station. Some of them you must know when is the right time to talk about your ideas. And also you need to protect what you are doing. Sometimes you can have a casual talk and say, hey, I want to do this, I can make so much money, what. Someone takes your idea. And you can't come and claim it's my idea because it's not your idea. It might be a public idea which is already there, which you spoke about and someone took advantage of it. And in business, one of the reality in business is that it's a dog-eat-dog world. You can just now talk to someone and say, there's this thing coming here, so-and-so wants to buy this, the following night, he's approaching that person and says, I can give you cheaper than you. Then some of the time you must know when is the right time to talk about your business and also making money. If you are into business which does not make money, it's an NGO. I mean, a business, you must go to business. For example, me, I'll never lie and say I went to business to help people. First, I went to business to generate money for my family first. Then in the process, I was helping people. You know, in schools now, they say, debating society, when you debate, how do you help people? Or you don't start a business to help people. No. You start a business to generate wealth. In the process, you start helping people. Because the one which starts by helping people, it's more an NGO. Then I think you are doing the NGO route. And also, the opportunities are there. Networking is very important. It's extremely, extremely important. And if I can give, me, I'm old. I mean, in 3 years, I'm 60. And I remember my last project, which is my last project now. I'm building a boutique hotel in Polokwane now. I got my funding, even though I can get funding from banks, but I went to NEF to seek funding. Because I'm creating jobs for the people of South Africa. But it was not easy for my funding because they say, hey, Joe, you have arrived already. I've not arrived. Because why do we go at my age, at 57? Because young people are not taking advantage of those opportunities. Those opportunities are there. And I consult with a lot of young people, and I'm always available to assist. I assure you, if you come with your idea, I won't steal your idea. I think I've passed the stage of taking someone's idea. But what I've realized that young people take shortcut on the planning stage. Because you only win on the planning stage when you have got proper business plan. You can get funding in South Africa without even owner contribution, but with a proper business plan. I wish I had come with a young man who's based in Matodzi, not even grade 12 dropout, We pitched a filling station for him. The filling station is there operating. And he was fully funded. And if the only way is that you must have a bankable business plan. If you have got a bankable business plan, why with government you can win more with government? Because government will also fund you, and if it's in manufacturing, you will also have a grant component, which can also assist you. But whereas banks, they're fine when you have arrived too much, but you won't get a grant from the bank. But you can get grant from government and then go and bank with Nedbank, and then your things will work fine. But only thing is that let's make sure that our base is correct. Got proper, bankable business plan. And maybe the last time you said, what can I advise to young people? Dream big. Dream big. And in my space, I always say, dream big and take your dream to God. In our company, we started another division now of aluminium, and I told all our guys, our motto is go big or go home. If we are not going to be big, why do we do it in the first place? And it is possible. And money is not in Johannesburg. Money is here in rural areas. There is a lot of money. There is a lot of money in rural areas, and if ever you can offer them a solution to what, I mean, I was impressed today to see what people were pitching here. It was very impressive. And some of the people who were pitching, or even those who are not pitching, if they need advice how to get funding so that they can go bigger. Because it's important for, in our lifetime, for big black business people to be created. In the past, when someone is big, and maybe to say this, apartheid sometimes was so dangerous. I remember talking to someone, he says our ready-mix company, we started big, we were also funded by government. We started with concrete pumps and everything. Someone commented, hey, this white guy is doing well. Why does he think this company belongs to a white person? It's apartheid. In the mind, the mentality is still saying something good must be white, and which is not correct. And I can urge all of you, believe that it can happen, and stay focused. And also, if you are young, make sure that the money you make stays in your pocket, not in your head. Because if it goes in your head, it becomes too complicated. then it's you must make sure that the money stays in your pocket. Because if it goes in the head, it's something else.
Ladies and gents, forgot one person. The last one.
Okay.
Please, you can stand, sir, so they capture you properly.
Yeah.
Please just keep it to one, and then after this, we close.
Thank you, sir. Mine is simple. I just want to understand, Mr. Mukwevho, if you do have like programs where you sponsor as a group of companies like these non-profit organizations which are doing community development activities.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you know what, where I currently stay, which is in Polokwane, we've got a lot of projects we run, but the projects which I love the most, you can check even in social media, is projects where we are assisting the destitute. You remember last year there was a famous, it was well circulated, a video of the young family, a child-headed family in Amaja who were staying in shacks. We were approached and we were touched, and we went to build a very fully fleshed house like the one in town for them. I like more to be involved in less privileged people who cannot do things for themselves. But for those who have got some ideas, who they want to start business, we are every time available to assist. available to assist with ideas, available to tell you where to go. Because some of the things, there are a lot of red tapes which are not actual red tapes. Because even myself, in the kind of business I do, I still need mentor. Like now when I started my aluminium company, I said I needed a mentor. I asked around who is the best aluminium company in South Africa. I didn't say in Polokwane, I said in South Africa. I was told it's Govender Aluminium. I phoned. I said, can I speak to the owner? The reception says, no, hey, Mr. Govender is not in, he's not available. You know, it's red tape. But I managed to get Mr. Govender's number through a supplier. When I spoke to him himself, Raj Govender, he said, Joe, I'll work with you. I'll support you. I'll make sure that you get what you want. Sometimes you can knock in a door and you think the door is locked. It's not locked. Don't allow people in our offices to be another red tape. Look for our numbers. Our numbers are public. I mean, if you type Joe Mukwevho, my number will pop up on Google, obvious. Then try and contact us and try and see whether we can assist. But don't phone the office and let someone say, Joe is not available, and you think the person is not available. Some are just red tapes which are not necessary. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is our Mbawula chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Mukwevho. Let's give him a big, big, big round of applause.